Welcome back to another Scottish Tech YouTube video. So this one is the much requested van tours. So we'll start off with mine because it's the tidiest, and then we'll go into Greg's. So this van is a 2021 and it is a 2 litre 140 horsepower. So we've had this since April, or end of March, April, and then we've given it a full transformation. I will put a wee photo in here of what it looked like when we picked it up. Now obviously you can see what it looks like now. So this is an interior. Now we've got our light up name board, which the camera woman can show. Then blue strip light, so at night this van's pretty blue. We've got a blue strip light, we've got blue lights under the seats, with our blue trimmed carpets, and then we've got obviously our full sort of Apple CarPlay stereo. Now up here, I'll grab the camera up because we're not reach. Up here, this is our 3-way switch for our air horns. So obviously the top setting is just air horn, and if we flick it down, that puts it onto your normal horn. To be fair, I don't know why it's on a 3-way, I could just have it on a normal switch, but that is our air horn one. And then here we have our blue beacon. So if it's in the top setting, it flashes with our high beam. Middle setting it is off, and then bottom setting it is on all the time. And next to that we have our beacon light. Now as you can see, we have our blue beacon, which are a wee bit jailbait, but you have to just not use them on the roads. Beacons. Then we've got our 4 lights sort of in the middle with our splitter, which I've never seen this in any other van. That's sort of why I've done that. A bit different. Same with the headboard with the beacons. I've seen headboards with spotlights but not beacons. And then up here is our air horns. Climb up. Now I custom painted them myself. They came black, so I've painted them all white with the blue inside. Same with the marker lights, I've painted them white. Custom painted steel wheels, white centre and the blue outsides, and our custom sidebars as well, which again they were made special for this, with just the 2 markers, just to be a wee bit different. We have our Scan Me QR code, that takes us to a link to our website, all the socials, etc. And then we've got our 3 markers up the side, the big beacon at the back. Now here we are at the back, so we've got a beacon that has obviously your stop tail indicators built in. Red markers up around the back is your sort of perimeter lights, and then we have our tow bar. We don't really use this van to be fair for the towing, but it's just there anyway. Again, custom painted, private regis, QR code on the back of this one as well. Now coming into the back we have our toolbox that we've got a sticker on, basically tells you all our services. Got my boots because I didn't drive in my boots. Trolley jack is strapped in there because we do a fair bit of vans, so it's easier with a trolley jack than it is a bottle jack. A nice snap-on sign. I've started to collect some stickers to put up here. It's like, these ones are like from the illustrator that's designed sort of stickers for me. Only way is trucking ones, keeping Scotland moving, that's sort of our slogan. This is my mate that races Speedway, he does that professionally, so I've got a sticker of him, and just some more for the Steve Stark. Check him out on Instagram if you have not already. But we've got our illuminated sign. Now up here I've got my inverter that basically with my extension leads, so charge all my batteries sit up here nice and organised. We have a remote for our night heater, which there was a video on that. I will place a card and you see us fully install that. And the night heater lives down there underneath the electrical connectors. Ladders, waterproofs is all up there. We've got our scrutineer, we have 2 mud wings, our bin bags, obviously that's the most important bit. And then up here, so we've got all our balls, 12, 24, sort of your most popular ones. Nuts and bolts for M6, and then lift that up, they go all the way back. There's rivets, so all your sort of consumable stuff in there. Here is all our sorted boxes, so we've got machine screws, roll pins, fuses, mega fuses, mini fuses, that's sort of all that stuff in there. And here we've got brake pads for sprinters and dailies, and a boost pipe for a sprinter, because again they're quite common things that we fix. Obviously wipes, and this one is just sort of consumable stuff we use in trucks, to be honest. So we've got like spare horns, brake pedal rubbers, wee stocks for DAF indicators, fuel cap, AdBlue cap, indicator lenses. We've got a wee tub of sort of fuses and key batteries in there. And then here's more consumable stuff. So in more consumable stuff, so we've got O-rings, double-sided tape, cable ties, heat shrinks, petroleum jelly, rubber grease, Loctite, copper grease, that all lives in there. Down here we've got some wheel pointers, 2-core, some ratchet straps, Jubilee clips, spray grease, sort of that, all that is in there. That's just sort of, don't really use any of that stuff other than the 2-core. In here we've got all our connections for trailers and Susies, so your electrical stuff, emergency Susies, PAM couplings, the twin ones, and then I've got that actually belongs there. That's for filling up Fords with fuel, because believe it or not, that happens. And then in here, airline Susies, so red and yellows, and then all our electrical Susies belong in this one. Sort of your 24S, 24N, ABSs, it's all in there. And down here we've got an airbag, I think that's for a SAF. We have a Norbrems slack adjuster. There's normally a BPW bag, but I've used that and not replenished it yet. We've got our bottle jacks, and then here we've just got like ATF and coolant. At the back we've got a 100 litre vertical compressor, big engine on it, brake cleaner, WD. Axle stands down in the corner with blocks of wood in behind, just in case you ever need them. Our Susies for our scrutineer and an extension lead. Then this is the best sort of nylon slide mat you can get. It's just a spray flap, and honestly, you'll not believe how easy that is, how easy it is to move about on that. You just slide everywhere. Oil pan, jump leads, Anderson leads, airline, and then down there is our vice spare extension lead. We've got our torque bar down there, and then this big block of wood for doing cutting repairs, so you feed that up behind the cutting, melt the cutting material, that gives you a hard surface for that. And down the back there is where I hide a lot of my rubbish, to be fair. There's spray flaps, cutting material, wing poles, all that lives down there. Handle for the landing legs, scaffy tube, because who doesn't need a scaffy tube? Tyre pressure inflator. In here you've got all our reflectors, front, sides and rears, conspicuously tape, twist locks and grease, then all your end caps, so side rail end caps, bumper end caps, a VTG holder, wee junction box. In this one we've just got sort of your crappy little fittings that bail you out whenever you need a crappy little fitting. That's in there with your ABS, extension cable, ABS sensor, twist locks for the back of tipper, springs, that's your landing leg spring and your slack adjuster spring. Got a little handle for something, no idea what that's for. Rear door rollers, rear door cables, interior straps, and then your little straps for the outside of your cut insiders. Then in this one we've obviously got our air valves, so that is your colas valve, just got a little two-way valve, that is just literally just filled with valves, a super safe plug for some reason. Park shunt valve. In this one here we have just a massive selection of marker lights, all these three, so that's your front, sides and rear marker lights. It's just all chucked in with loads of just different types, Aspoc, Ruby lights, all of that. Down here we've got tail lights, so I've got two sides of that. Tail lights, I've got 800s, tail light lenses, there's an LED one in there as well, hamburgers, end line markers, number plate lights are in this wee bit, and we have a wick lamp and another end line marker in there, battery tester, just a couple of little rags. Then we've got our wing brackets, so your 42s and your 35s, and then again we've got some more antifreeze, just got some water because sometimes you need to top something up with water, and we've got some brake and clutch fluid, .4, our heat gun, disc brake chamber, two anchor lock brake chambers, and that is sort of all of our stock stuff. Then we've just got obviously silicone tape measure, DOR tags, wheel nut torque, wheel nut torque notices. Got our reflective boards in there, airlines, so air pipe, sorry, all different sizes, basically up to 12. I think it goes for 6 to 12. it's all cable tied there, along with a conjoint and some crocodile clips. And then in this wee bit, I keep this wee thing here, so if you've ever got a truck that's sort of out of air and it's stuck in gear, this screws in, or if you need to release the brakes for reason, this screws into a port on the truck. It'll either be under the grille, or each truck's different, and then that plugs into your airline, and I can fill it up with my compressor to get the truck moving again. That is what that is. First aid bag up there, and then we've also got like a work light and all that stuff. So next, this is my toolbox. So this is a Mac, don't know what model it's actually, Mac Edge 53-inch. So I'll go through that just now, but firstly underneath there I've got a wheel chock, and then there's just consumable boxes. So I've got boxes like pins, Deutsch connectors, super seals, straight airline fittings, plastic, metal, and then like the new Rufus ones. What else is under there? Electrical, like spade and terminal connectors. It's sort of just good storage under there, it keeps it out the road. But moving on to the toolbox. So the top big drawer is basically 1/2 inch, 3/8, quarter, and then just some like your Torx, hexes, e-Torx. So it's a wee bit it's not a mess, but it's not that organised, but it's hard because the toolbox is moving a bit all day, so nothing really stays. In here we have spanners, so long reach ratchets, swan necks, little thin ones, then your sort of bigger spanners, and then for 7 till 19, and then for 9, sorry that should be for 8, I've obviously lost them. That's 9 till 19 in the ratchets. And here we've got our screwdrivers. So these are new, these ones sit in the foam inserts. Then we've got our torque ones, files, picks. Then we've just got a couple of little oddballs. These things here, if you ever get parcels, you get these silica gels. Keep them, put them in your toolbox. It absorbs all the dampness and soaks your tools, going all that rusty way. So there's a wee tip for you. Oh, been in that drawer. And here, so we've got a pry bar, long reach Torx, circlips, water pump pliers, battery, crimps, drain plugs. This wee tool's for removing wiper arms, heel bars, and then I've got some more just snap-on long reach spanners there. I've never used them, but they're there for a rainy day. Hammers. So these are new. We've got what's that? 32 ounce, 48 ounce, and 16 ounce power hand ones. Got a sort of mini sledgehammer, big copper hammer, wee chapping hammer for doing inspections. Then you've got obviously your oil filter wrench strap, then your claw type. And there we have, what have we got here? We've got this tool here. This is for repairing axles, SAF axle threads. It's not the official tool, but it does the job very well and gets you out of a sticky situation. We have obviously a multimeter, extractors, screw extractors, pins in there. What else have we got? Relay testers, obviously a heat gun for heat shrinks. It's all in there. Now this one's the messiest drawer, and you can never organise it. I've got spare 1/2 inch sockets, I think there, and they're like 12.1, so again, come in handy. A wee rev nut gun there, some bigger sockets, 3/4 socket, our refractometer, I think that's how you say that. So this tool, if I can open it, that tests all your like AdBlue and that sort of stuff. You basically put that in that blue tank, squeeze some up, put it on there, and then you can see its quality. So I've done videos on that in the past. And then my 3/4 sockets, again, no matter how many times you organise them, they just fall all over the place because the van moves. It's just one of the things. So at the bottom drawer, I've got just a box of just spare drill bits, a wee bit driver, 3/8 impact, the big 1/2 inch Milwaukee, that thing is an animal, my drill, wee sort of heat gun thing, soldering gun, a die grinder, battery ratchet, normal grinder, some drill bits, another rev nut gun, and a brake line back tool. Then we've just got some wire brushes and all that in there. That's what's in there. And this side is your standard crap drawer. So this is just the drawer that gets filled with all the sort of crappy wee bits. They go into hydraulic pipes. Again, you've got razor blades, steel rulers, pens, curtain rollers. It's just every mechanic has one of these drawers. And here we have adjustables, some just sort of crappy punches, old bolts that have become punches, old pins that have become punches. So, and big chisels, that all belongs in there. In here, basically, it used to be organised, but I kind of got too much stuff. We've got big terminal crimpers, small terminal crimpers and wire strippers, multiple wire strippers because we do a fair bit of wiring, so it's always handy to have two just in case anything ever breaks. Mini water pump pliers, vice grips, big wire cutters. That is basically all that's in there. It's pliers and sort of all these sort of hand tools. And our big final drawer, we have this is filled with chisels and punches. So again, it's pretty new actually, but it's got a full selection there, 28 piece. In there, we've got a rivet gun, big 3/4 gun, welding gloves, impact gloves, tyre pressure monitor, all that sort of stuff. Spare pair of boots in case the other ones get soaking wet. And then this wee tray, there's actually brake pads for my van in it now because I need to do that, but if I do a job I chuck all my tools in that and then bring it back. It just saves you having to carry loads of stuff. So that is the inside of my van and the outside. I'll be honest, we have gave them a wee bit of a clean for this video. They are normally not a mess, but there's normally stuff on the floor and tools lying about, but we don't want to do a video the van's been a mess, so they have been a wee bit organised for this. But at the end of the day, they are working vans. So that is my van. We will go into Greg's van now. We'll show you around that, show you the outside and inside of his one, and then at the end we want you to leave a comment on who you think's van is the tidiest. Now this is Greg's van. Greg's a wee bit more shy, he doesn't want to be on the camera. So this one is a 2019, and again it was completely standard when we got it. I'll insert a photo right here. And again it's had a full custom makeover. So we've got it all painted. We have grill bars, low bar on this one, which is a wee bit different to mine, but we like them being different. Roof markers and our painted air horns again, or sticking or branding, and we'll show you the inside of this one now. Now this is inside the Greg's one. On the back we've went custom again, totally different. We've got a big picture of the two vans done at the Forth Rail Bridge with the blue downlight shining on it. So again, it is totally different. It's not a light board, it's nothing what you've probably seen before. It is completely custom. In the front it is much the same as ours, well mine sorry, but it's a different radio. He's got a bigger screen, don't know how he got that, he got jammy. So he's got the bigger screen because he's got the reverse camera. Up here again we've got another three-way switch. This is so that when you flash the high beam, the beacons come on and obviously off, and then that one is for your beacons to be on and off, and one's your air horns, sorry that's your air horns and that is your beacons. That is in that. We're on 74,000 miles in this van, which for a 19 plate is pretty low. Mine's is on, what's mine's on? 80 something, 83 I think it is. So that is inside the Greg's, and I'll walk around it just now, and then we will go in the back with Greg and he can show you about the back. So again, Teddy light bars for your low bar, your grill bar. He done the bars in my van. Custom paint again, same as mine. Steel wheels painted white and blue. Mirrors, we've changed his indicators that these ones swoosh out. Pretty cool. QR code does the exact same as my van. Scottish style, that is a company called Custom Layers on TikTok that made them. We've got our markers up on the top. Back of the van we have our perimeter lights. There's wee Greg, you'll see him in a minute. Beacons, it's all much the same. And then coming round, we'll go into the back of the van next.
No, honestly.
I'll just stand there like this, Greg. You don't have to be shy. Right, this is the back of Greg's one. He's a wee bit more shy, so he doesn't want to talk. It's much the same. We have the inverter over here. The night heater is down the side of his toolbox, much the same as mine. On top of his battery box, Greg's got the inch Milwaukee gun because he does all the work. And we've
diagnostic work as well.
Diagnostic work as well. Greg does everything. Mud wings in the same place. Bin bag, Greg opts not to use the bin bags, he just keeps them in stock. He just decides not to use bin bags in his bin. he's a bit more rogue. His racking is much the same as mine. I laid it all out, so it's basically got the same stuff, balls, nuts and bolts. He's got his brake pads for his dailies and his sprinters, all that sort of exact same stuff. Susie's, for some reason he keeps his top bar in his racking.
Keeps it tidy.
Greg's got 2 airbags because he's actually got fully stocked. I've left mine lying at my backside. Now obviously his grease gun, the compressor, his scrutineer is different to my one. We got this off a guy on eBay, I believe. He makes them, so we got that for him. Airlines, Lima again, Anderson leads, more Anderson leads, more jump leads, and his hard hat that he loves wearing. Trolley jack on the floor, his waste oil, and the extension lead that I think he could plug in for his house and go to any job in the whole of Scotland, and our stock batteries. This side is also all your consumable stuff, so he's got his brake fluid and all that stuff, tubes of grease, the feet for his ladders that he's still never fitted and I gave him a months ago. Interior straps, you've got your lights, valves, and there, mudwing brackets, much the same. We have spare lights in here, brake chambers, some more oil, antifreeze, brake cleaner down there, and then obviously he's got silicone here. His cutting material, by the looks of it, never been used. Oh my god. Greg thinks I bully him basically. So Greg thinks I bully him all the time on the content, so to go along with that narrative, this is a photo of Greg's van the other day before he prepped it. So that just continues the bullying. This is Greg's van before he prepped it for his YouTube video. Look at it. That's the real Greg's van right there.
See if that gets included in the video, that's a sale.
Look at the state of it. But it'll be all nice and tidy for the YouTube part.
He just slags me at every single opportunity.
He's got his flip-flops on because he's the flip-flop tech. And then this is Greg's toolbox. So I'll let Greg talk to you about his toolbox because I don't know anything about it other than it's a snappable.
So in the top drawer, much neater than Ryan's of course, we've got all your sockets, just bit sets, breaker bar, your top wrenches, just all your sockets really, 3/8, ½ inch and quarter. Got a golf ball, Ryan will need that, likes losing them. Moving down we've got spanners, just all your usual spanners, all your ratchet spanners, regular, like brake calipers, ones for air pipes and stuff like that. Again, Ryan would just have this total mess, whereas I like to keep things organised. So just all your screwdrivers, picks, radiator picks. Then we've got pliers, trim tools, scrapers, circlip pliers which have never been used but they look nice. So got some files. Probably this is what Ryan's toolbox would look like, so it just looks like I've thrown everything in here but it does have a purpose. Got pry bars, hammers, wire brush which Ryan does not actually own.
Nah, I found one.
For some reason.
Nah, I found the wire brush. I found it, it's covered in grease but I found it.
So, covered in grease, much like the rest of his tools. And then we've got battery tools and stuff. Just all your, mostly Milwaukee stuff. I think it's all Milwaukee now actually. And the charger for that and stuff's up on the wall. Then this drawer's a bit of a mess, but just grinder, screwdriver set. We've got a tap and die set for when Ryan cross threads stuff and I need to go and pull him out the trouble. Your inch sockets for the gun, and just some various different spanners, clutch alignment tools, ear defenders for when Ryan phones me. In here we've got all your ratchets, extensions. Pretty self-explanatory that one. This drawer's just full of cap bars for some reason. I don't know why. Some drill bits, some left-handed drill bits, some random pliers, but that one's just never really been organised. It's just full of cap bars. This is just various electrical pins and rubbish. for wiring and etc. A couple of boxes just with fuses and stuff in them. This was really before I had all this stuff in my van. And then in here again, just a load of rubbish, but it all serves a purpose. So got a mirror,
The camera one.
you've got a tyre inflator, battery tester, torch, some butane for my torch, ratchet straps, got a wee diagnostic tool, and that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching.
There you go, so that is both the vans and both van tours. Now let us know in the comments whose van you think is tidiest, either cleanliness or organised, whatever, however you want to rate it. I think it's mine, Greg believes it's his.
This one.
Greg thinks it's that, but let us know in the comments and thank you for watching. Down here, click there to watch a video you've maybe not seen before, and down here, click to subscribe. I think I've done that the right way round, but if not, you'll figure it out. Until the next one, thank you for watching and we'll see you soon.